welcome to Talking Turkey with Dee. My name's Dee James, Hunting Heritage Biologist for the North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission. And today we're going to talk a little bit about turkey calls in this segment. You don't have to be an expert turkey caller. It's more about woodsmanship. It's more about understanding the turkeys and their turkey habits. But of course, calling comes to be important when you're actually hunting them. The first call that we're going to take a look at is a box call. A box call is relatively easy to use. It has a base on the bottom, two sides, and a lid. The lid is actually curved. This is probably one of the easiest calls to use other than a slate that we're going to take a look at. And the easiest way to use it is just by taking that lid, never taking it away from the lip of the box, but just stroking that edge, just like this. And since it's double-edged, you can use the other edge as well, which sometimes will have a little bit of difference in tone, but it's still pretty much the same. There's many other calls that you can use, but if you can basically yelp, you can call turkeys with a box call. The next call, it's relatively easy to use, and you can see I have one peg hanging and another one here in my hand, or as we refer to it, striker. And the call looks like this. Some call it a pot, some call it a slate, but the materials are many and various in what's on here. It can be slate, it can be glass, it can be ceramic, but a simple slate call is perfect. So some people will hold it like this, kind of like I would say like a crab claw, and some people will hold it like they're kind of holding it up on stilts. I like to do the stilt method. The idea is to bring your hand to the call. Do not touch the calling surface. The only thing that touches the calling surface is the striker. Put the striker on, and just by making little circles, that creates the yelp. The more close you get to the center, the lower pitched, the closer you get to the outside tends to be higher pitched. And there's obviously a number of different calls that you can use. And again, just to do a simple yelp, just like that with a slate call. It's all about practice. Another call that some people use, and I really don't myself, but I have one, is a wing bone. And that's actually made out of the wing of a wild turkey, and the segments are glued together. And you just actually suck into the call, and it sounds like a hen yelping. Some people use them. I don't use them so much, but it goes like this. Makes a realistic sound, and some people get concerned about how good they sound because there's all this competition calling going on, but the reality is hens don't call perfect. Female turkeys don't call perfect, so you don't need to worry about that. Another call that we use, of course, are locator calls, and that's when you're in a hunting situation. You're not trying to call the bird in, but you're trying to keep track of it and or find out where they are initially. One is a crow. Turkey will usually gobble to a crow, or an owl hoot, which is a barred owl. And I was turning it on the wrong end. That, again, these are locator calls. And of course, the one that tends to be the most challenging to use, but we can, with practice, you get to learn how to use them. The advantage with this, what's referred to as a diaphragm call, it will make the same sounds, a little bit tone different than the slate or the box, but this is hands-free, meaning that when you're out there turkey hunting, and you've got the hunting implement either being a bow or a shotgun, those are the only two implements that are legal in North Carolina, it's hands-free. You can call hands-free, and that's a big deal because if you're calling in a bird and it sees you move, it's over. With these, long, short, the side of the call that has the longest reeds face up, and the shortest reeds face down. And where that's put is in the roof of your mouth. Your tongue goes underneath, out to your teeth, and what you're doing is you're huffing, huff, huff, huff. And as that air is being forced between your tongue and that reed, it vibrates, and you can make a yelp. And it takes practice, but once you become proficient with it, you'll always use them. And using different calls is really a good thing, because each call can have a particular sound that the gobbler may prefer. So, with it, put it in there. Of course, when you put it in, you first make call. Your tongue might tickle a little bit. But the idea is first to get sounds. And here's how that can be done. Start with high tongue pressure, you get a high note. Then ease off the tongue pressure, you get a low note. And then you put them together, just like this. High, low, high, low. And then you put them together. The key to a mouth call is practice, and that's how you learn how to use it. And the solution, by the way, is 50% water, 50% mouthwash. It keeps the calls fresh and prevents the reeds sticking together. For more information, please feel free to attend one of our March seminars at 11 locations. Go to the website for registration at www.ncwildlife.org/SBS for skills-based seminars. Thanks.